He's looking for a rally. Elliott wave trader Avi Gilbert joins us for our Outlook 2015. Avi, good to have you back on.
Thank you so much for having me back, Danielle.
Well, Avi, I'm happy to have you back on. Last time we spoke was for the U.S. Thanksgiving, and you were looking for a second to last bottom for gold in December, and then we would see that rally. Have you changed your thoughts since?
Well, we have a very interesting scenario set up between the different markets. Silver futures hit almost to the penny the top of my bottoming box that I was looking for a very long time. So the possibility exists that silver has bottomed. I don't have that same possibility in gold or the miners. Both still seem the greater probability. It's possible, but the greater probability still seems to indicate that the miners have not found a bottom, and gold has not found a bottom either. Can we get a bigger rally before those lows are hit? Certainly, but there's certain levels going to have to be taken out to really give us that rally, because they're both still set up quite bearishly. And even though it may not, it doesn't look likely that that gold or the miners are going to hit those lower lows in December. The potential exists that January or February, they're still set up for those lower lows as long as it maintains below resistance right now.
So, Avi, you're basically still looking for that gold rally before you readjust levels?
The rally that I'm looking at right now today that we're seeing could peter out and then set up those lower lows. There is a structure in place right now that I'm watching as we're speaking that could set up further downside in all of the charts that I'm looking at right now.
So I guess a question or an answer that everyone wants to know is, Avi, is when should they be getting long?
This is just the constant question that I always get. And beginning of November, when the miners struck their lower lows, I think we got out of our major puts positions, and I started suggesting that people start getting into long-term long positions on miners and start buying some silver. I did not put out any buys on gold yet, but gold still has not reached my targets. But from the miners' perspective, even though I am expecting potential lower lows, this is the first time in 3 years that I have suggested people start moving into long-term positions on miners, which we can trade around and put on protective puts at various resistance regions until the lower lows I expect to be hit. But if GDX is able, for example, to take out the 1950 level, the potential exists that we can get back up to the 21, up to as high as 24 region, and from there come down and hit the low teens. But we can always put on protective positions at that point in time. But right now, we're still set up for lower lows, it seems.
So, Avi, as we're about to start a new year here, what levels are you eyeing for gold?
As long as we remain below the 117 to 119 resistance region, we're still set up to hit at least a 105. So the setup is still there for us to drop hard into the new year. If 119 gets taken out, then at a minimum, you're looking at 120.50 with the potential to go back to 123 before lower lows are seen.
And Avi, as we're wrapping up here, last time you were on, I asked you what the safest bet was for an investor, and you said you would avoid the GLD and the SLV, saying they were toxic for a long-term investor. Do you still feel this way?
I tell everybody who is willing to listen that if you want to own gold and silver long term, you should be owning it in physical, and if you want to exceed those returns on the physical, then you should be looking at select miners, some of which have better opportunities than others.
All right, thanks, Avi. Finally, is there anything that you're really liking these days as we start 2015?
Well, oddly enough, the equity markets are looking very, very interesting to me right now. We've been tracking a pattern on the equity markets that could take the S&P 500 exceeding 2,300 to as high as 2,500 in 2015 before we see a 20+% correction.
Well, thanks so much for your time and Happy New Year.
Thank you, and Happy New Year to you and your entire audience.
And thanks for watching our Outlook 2015 with Avi Gilbert. You can email us at newsfeedback@kitco.com. Happy holidays.